Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, February 25th, at 8:25 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 709 headlines from 108 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Pakistani, Indian militaries agree to stop firing in Kashmir. Johnson & Johnson vaccine, FDA finds the single-shot jab safe. China celebrates official end of extreme poverty, Laozi. A Chinese couple paid $155,000 in fees to have 7 children in violation of the country's two-child policy. Illegal gold mine in Indonesia collapses, killing 6 workers. Amid COVID-19 pandemic, flu has disappeared in the U.S. North Korea enslaved South Korean prisoners of war in coal mines. AP fact check, Biden on virus deaths, carries climate crisis. CPAC 2021, Trump's big lie about 2020 election fraud lives on. Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi's plan for investigating the Capitol attack is a bizarre partisan concept. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Australia passes new law requiring Facebook and Google to pay for news, CNN. We should be grateful that Tiger Woods is alive, that his kids haven't lost their dad, says an emotional Rory McIlroy, CNN International. A reckoning is near. America has a vast overseas military empire. Does it still need it? USA Today. GameStop shares surge in market as Reddit favorites rally again, CNBC. CPAC preview, Trump, election claims at conservative confab, NPR. Google TV will include a new basic mode to make your smart TV dumb, The Verge. Armenian PM faces military's demand to resign, talks of coup, Fox News. New public report to blame Saudi crown prince for 2018 killing of Jamal Khashoggi, NBC News. Amid COVID-19 pandemic, flu has disappeared in the U.S., Fox News. Researchers find worrying new coronavirus variant in New York City, CNN. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Random dudes fighting with lightsabers in snow give major Force Awakens vibes. More than 1.3 million Texans still facing issues with water supply. Don Lemon, GOP hypocrisy is off the charts. 4 tricky Facebook privacy settings you should double-check right now. Despite its pledges, Shell funded anti-climate lobbying last year. Trump froze badly needed aid to Yemen. Biden can restore it. 7 things you should do in the morning if you want more energy. Today's biggest obstacles for black chefs, from COVID-19 to soul food. 5 star-studded movies that are popular on Netflix right now. Backlogged cases push California COVID-19 deaths past 50,000. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Gun in burning building goes off accidentally. Man arrested for raping 55-year-old woman inside Macy's. Autopsy shows student died of alcohol intoxication. Man gets mail delivered 3 months late. Man charged with putting camera in son's room. Social justice bus unveiled by Urban League. More than 100 students, staff in quarantine. Attempted cyber attack leaves many without access. Honduran immigrant and father, leave sanctuary in church. Fire chiefs raise the alarm, too few young recruits. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Nursing home deaths plummet. Facebook takes a side, banning Myanmar military after coup. Got a confidential news tip? Fate, domestic terrorism and the nomination of Merrick Garland. California, with 50,000 lost, has more deaths than any other state. America's nursing crisis. Former aide says Cuomo kissed me on the lips. How a TV critic turned to podcasts during a pandemic. VIP immunization for the powerful and their cronies rattles South America. For shielding endangered neighbors, pandas make flimsy umbrellas. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Rose McGowan backs Cuomo accuser Lindsey Boylan, calls for investigation into monstrous claims. Sturm scores twice, Wild beat off 6-2 for 4th straight win. Nikki Haley, Biden should boycott China's Winter Olympics next year. Peterson helps Kings beat Blues 2-1 for 6th straight win. Number 20 Arkansas big run flusters number 6 Alabama. Malik Monk scores 29 points, Hornets cool off Suns 124-121. Zion Williamson leads Pelicans past Pistons, 128-118. Lavine scores 35 as Bulls beat Timberwolves 133-126 in OT. Number 13 Creighton comes off layoff with 77-53 win over DePaul. Nylander scores twice, Maple Leafs beat Flames 2-1 in OT. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, February 25th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Stimulus check update, why your next relief payment may not be $1,400. Gonzaga, one of 5 ranked teams on 5 consecutive nights, just has so many different answers, says CBS Sports' John Rothstein. Jordan Larson on athletes in limited volleyball, being able to play pro in the United States is amazing. Double amputee running champion Blake Leeper in legal battle to compete in Tokyo Olympics. Watch, 20 years later, Polly Heineck froze to death and came back, reflects on second chance. Sydney Ring, one-handed basketball player, inspiring others on and off the court. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Family tip father's ashes into the sewers outside his favorite pub to honor his final wishes. Volunteers take string of ponies through Liverpool to brighten day for lockdown families. Woman, 51, says she's happier than ever after lockdown forced her to embrace gray hair. Asda launches major restructure putting 3,000 jobs at risk. England records no influenza cases so far in 2021 due to social distancing measures. 3-year-old ninja toddler scales refrigerator to steal favorite snack from cupboard. Anarchy in Myanmar as supporters of the junta attack pro-democracy protesters. French vaccination drive too slow to prevent third wave. Latitude and Wireless are still set to go to ahead, organizers say after reading and leads confirmation. Would you buy a matching sofa and dog bed? The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. The good news about the global vaccine supply. Hive updates, new vaccine developments raise hopes even as virus variants proliferate. India introduces new rules to regulate online content. Recent drone attack on Saudi royal palace launched from Iraq. Watchdog says Libya fails to hold war criminals accountable. For Israel's allies, road to vaccines runs through Jerusalem. Blinken chooses Canada and Mexico for first virtual trip abroad. India and Pakistan announce ceasefire for first time in nearly 20 years. Tokyo Olympics chiefs say no cheering or shouting at torch relay. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. Coronavirus Live News. Finland announces lockdown plan, Ukraine registers 40% jump in new cases. Biden is already backtracking on his promises to provide student debt relief. Astra Taylor. Judas and the Black Messiah misses the mark in its portrayal of Fred Hampton. Akinalia. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to mark 15 COVID vaccine doses given in U.S. Live. What the arrests of Beverly Hills residents say about the U.S. Capitol attack. We are trying to recreate the lives we had, the Somali migrants who became Maine farmers. Colombian police killed 86 people in 2020, report reveals. Right-wing group nearly forced Wisconsin to purge thousands of eligible voters. One-stop COVID shop gets closer to approval. First thing. Urban Meyer embodies the hubris of the U.S. sports industry. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. 3 adults slain in Arkansas home, abducted baby found safe. GOP finds risky form of unity in opposing COVID relief bill, The Note. Teenage girl dies after saving brother from frozen lake. More Americans identify as LGBT than ever before, poll. Students protest as Utah lawmakers resist changing Dixie. A third stimulus check could be coming. Here's what Americans did with the others. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Goldman Sachs, bank boss rejects work from home as the new normal. Armenia PM Nikol Pashinyan denounces attempted military coup. Jamal Khashoggi, U.S. to release declassified report on murder. Myanmar coup, Facebook, Instagram place immediate ban on military. Man survives 14 hours in Pacific Ocean clinging to sea rubbish. Singapore, police officer's wife admits to killing Myanmar maid. Princess Latifah urges UK police to reopen sister's kidnap case. Hit TV show Frasier to be revived after 20 years. Australia passes law to make Google and Facebook pay for news. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Vice President Kamala Harris adds new meaning to Black History Month. Surgery for a child, car loan, electric bills. We asked Americans how they'd spend $1,400 stimulus checks. This is what they said. These Indiana civilians hunt child predators. Expert warns they're playing with fire. House Dems, GOP joust over joy, postal reform. AP top stories February 25. A. Biden administration will send 25 masks to underserved populations. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy tests positive. Latest COVID-19 updates. Want to hug again? Go to church. It's up to you. Ad council says in $500 may campaign to promote COVID-19 vaccines. Governor Abbott promises answers after weather disaster. U.S. worker, employer debate Biden $15 wage proposal. Golden State sued over oil and gas permit issues. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Op-ed, don't be smug about Texas troubles. California isn't prepared for disasters either. West Covina City Council votes to quit LA County Health Department over COVID rules. Ex-Pomona councilman sentenced to probation in child porn case. Bone-breaking skin and possible infection are big issues in Tiger Woods' comeback. Tiger Woods' accident sparks new drive to improve safety on road known for dangers. California tops 50,000 COVID-19 deaths amid fears of new variants. Newsom, lawmakers agree to pay pro-Biden firm for California voter education contract. Photos Tiger Woods lucky to be alive after serious rollover crash on the Palos Verdes Peninsula. LA City Council approves hero pay wage boost for grocery workers. The nightmare scenario for California's coronavirus strain, here is what we know. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, February 25th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Exhausted by COVID-19 fight, Portuguese nurses want pay not applause. Malaysian wins challenge against Islamic law banning gay sex. Australian cannabis consumption increases 25% in 5 months, valuing the industry at $18.5 billion. Sailor survives for 14 hours in Pacific Ocean by clinging to abandoned buoy. Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine is 94% effective, study of 1.2 million people in Israel finds. For successful birth of critically endangered Malayan tiger cubs at Wildlife Reserve Singapore in 23 years. Facebook bans Myanmar military from its platforms with immediate effect. German forest decline hits record levels. Bark beetles are the main driver of spruce tree deaths in the country, but this was exacerbated by a dry summer. Yemen faces world's worst famine in decades, warns UN. Mexico's decision to ban glyphosate has rocked the agribusiness world. 2 men have been charged in Malta with providing the bomb that killed anti-corruption journalist Daphne Caruana Galizia, described as a one-woman WikiLeaks who exposed cronyism and sleaze within Malta's political and business elite. Ramen-loving researcher discovers that tonkatsu absorbs radiation. 2 dead after Philippine police and drug enforcement agents shoot at each other after undercover narcotics operation. Amnesty strips Alexei Navalny of prisoner of conscience. Status rights group has been under pressure to condemn past statements by Kremlin critic. Husband must pay wife $7,700 for years of housework, Chinese court rules. The next headlines are from Forbes. China is #1 trade partner again thanks to, wait for it, U.S. exports. The world's best bourbon, according to the 2021 World Whiskies Awards. Reports, new coronavirus variant spreading in New York City raises concern. How we got to Chapagadan. UN panel recommends a global corporate income tax to cut down on tax avoidance. Myanmar's military has been banned from Facebook and Instagram weeks after staging coup. 5 new series coming to Netflix in March that are worth a binge. How the kilowatt-hour itself is complicit in a wasteful energy system. Piedmont red wines you probably don't know. Domingo German apologizes for domestic violence suspension as Yankees teammates put him on notice. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Sulfur sequestration promotes multicellularity during nutrient limitation. Science Diversified, the men who say no to manals. Collaborations with artists go beyond communicating the science. Spatio-temporal dissection of the cell cycle with single-cell proteogenomics. The asymmetry of antimatter in the proton. Cancer aided by greasy traders. Multi-kingdom ecological drivers of microbiota assembly in preterm infants. Accelerator-based light sources get a boost. Planet 9, Russian education law and COVID variants. Rich countries should tie their vaccines. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,688,308,058 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. India publishes digital media ethics code for social media and streaming platforms. First look, animated comedy Blazing Samurai, starring Michael Cera, Samuel L. Jackson, Ricky Gervais exclusive. China's Bilibili focuses on growth as losses double. Saudi Arabia's Red Sea Film Festival sets dates, announces new team. Disney appoints Jessica Kemengel to head content development in Asia. The United States vs. Billie Holiday virtual premiere celebrates a civil rights pioneer. Yvette Nicole Brown, Wanda Sykes, Lil Rel Howery, Cedric the Entertainer on amplifying black culture on TV. Netflix has spent $500 million on Korean content this year. China's Lunar New Year films undermined by piracy despite state crackdown. Taylor Swift's attorneys countersue Evermore theme park in Utah, setting up competing rights claims. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Teaching students a new Black history. Transgender military recruits wait for policy changes to be formalized. Youth activists are heard in Biden's White House, but they want to see more action. It's all about Trump. CPAC seems poised to ignore Republican identity crisis. Watchdog faults FAA for significant misunderstanding of flight system. Biden reopens gateway for green cards, work visas reversing Trump COVID-19 freeze. Baffled Canadians spread reports of hard butter. CDC launches web tool to help Americans find COVID-19 vaccines. Tiger Woods will not face charges in rollover crash, is recovering after surgery. The Supreme Court wrestles with police chase that wasn't. The following headlines are from The Week. Democrats should take the Romney Cotton proposal seriously. 5 cartoons about Andrew Cuomo's nursing home scandal. The GOP's apathy for governing is being exposed. The eviction moratorium problem. Biden nominates postal ballot slate that could oust Louis DeJoy after DeJoy vows to stay put. The U.S. Ad Council's new national COVID-19 vaccine ad campaign goes for the soft sell. Florida Democratic Rep Stephanie Murphy is considering running against Marco Rubio in 2022. There has been essentially no flu season during the COVID-19 pandemic. Michigan man builds an ice rink in his yard to bring neighbors together. Lawyers have reunited 105 separated migrant kids with their parents in the last month. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Low-income Texans already face frigid temperatures at home, then the winter storm hit. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. How to see calm, according to a physics blogger. The following headlines are from the NASA Mars Exploration Program. NASA's Perseverance rover gives high-definition panoramic view of landing site. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Titan's atmosphere recreated in an Earth laboratory. Our part of the galaxy is packed with binary stars. The Space Court Foundation presents Women of Color in Space. There was a secret code in the Perseverance parachute. Cygnus X1 was the first black hole ever found. New measurements show it's much more massive than previously believed. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, February 25th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Astrophysicists design radically different world map. Nearby black hole SIG X1 more massive than thought. Best observing targets for binoculars. Do we all see the same moon phase? Moon and faint Cancer the crab on February 24, 2021. The next news is from Politico. The vaccines that could stop COVID-19. Millions of people's data is at risk. Amazon insiders sound alarm over security. Why state legislatures are still very white and very male. Biden's first 100 days. European Union leaders feel the pressure over handling of coronavirus pandemic. Early crowd of candidates pack Democratic Senate primaries. Neera Tanden got Twitter right, and that was her problem. Federal funeral aid for COVID-19 victims stalls over scam fears. The way to fix the Lincoln Project, shut it down for good. The GOP's choice in 2024, Trump Ultra, Trump Light or Trump Zero. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Perth hoteliers at centre of homeless housing scandal arrested. Labour's Riverton candidate under fire for falsely claiming to live in electorate. You're not going anywhere, Perth man accused of racist attack on Gosnell's mother detained in citizen's arrest. The unbearable silence of an empty flight path. Hurley's health Essendon's main concern as Carlton prevail. Where does must look to 2005 Ram raid to overcome Brumby's challenge. From Orange Sims to the Tiz, how Grant followed in famous father's footsteps. Federal Green Bank powers up Victoria's big battery with $160 boost. Why a Brisbane Games means Australia can finally splurge on its athletes. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. IPO report, Oscar Health is going public, 5 things to know about the digital insurer. Goldman Sachs CEO, working from home is an aberration. Nokia stock jumps following rally in Reddit favorites. Kelley Blue Book, the best full-size trucks of 2021. Auto Trader, how augmented reality is taking you car shopping. AstraZeneca is aiming to meet EU second quarter COVID-19 vaccine targets, despite reports. Next Avenue, busting 8 myths about dementia. As the vaccine rollout gathers pace, this could be the trade of the decade. Ghana becomes first country to receive COVID-19 vaccine through COVAX program. US and EU prepare new rounds of sanctions against Russia. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. 10 black innovators and technologists who helped uplift history, triple pundit. The Geographical Indications of Goods, Registration and Protection, Amendment, Rules, 2020, Intellectual Property, India, Mondak News Alerts. Meet the next generation of creators and innovators February 25, 2021, NSW Department of Education. Apple electric car could have technology to help you locate where you parked in VR helmet to stop motion sickness 7news.com. Concerns over proposed intellectual property waiver, Chris Hemingway, Malay Mail. AI machines cannot invent, USPTO tells judge, Law 360. This man helped pave the way for black people in an area some were excluded, patents, KSAT San Antonio. Samsung wins tribunal challenges to wireless charging patents, Bloomberg Law. Meet 7 groundbreaking black scientists from the past, CBC. Patents Court illuminates efficiency requirements, Lexology. The next headlines are from Quartz. As COVID-19 destroyed real economies, Second Life's economy boomed. Green cards, Bitcoin influence, moonfish. Biden scraps Trump's ban on green card applicants entering the U.S. California's net neutrality law is broadband companies' worst nightmare. Hong Kongers crowdsourced a protest manual, and Myanmar's already using it. Vaccines and work from home put India Incorporated at war with cyber attackers in 2020. India opens up its vaccination drive for the elderly and vulnerable groups. Remote work could turn out to be great for business travel. Immunity. The U.S. city that pioneered NIMBY zoning has finally abandoned it. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Stadia fallout, nobody can address Stadia games bugs because Google fired all the developers. Content moderation case study, chat roulette leverages new AI to combat unwanted nudity, 2020. TechDirt Podcast Episode 271, Gaming Like It's 1925. Appeals Court rejects New York Police Union's attempt to block disclosure of disciplinary records. California poised to defeat broadband industry in scrum over net neutrality. The 2021 Premium Unity Game Developer Certification Bundle. Yet another story shows how Facebook bent over backwards to put in place different rules for conservatives. The Department of Justice FCC fix for the T-Mobile merger is looking more and more like theater. Treasury oversight says IRS should consider getting warrants before buying location data from data brokers. Google disbands Stadia game developers and signals potential for more trouble ahead. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Bruce Springsteen. Emma Watson. Lakers vs. Jazz. Coca-Cola less white. Warriors vs. Pacers. David Foster. Wall Street bets. Ginny in Georgia. Snowfall. GME. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Russia inks long-term deal to supply China with liquefied natural gas from Arctic. Nearly 14% in England have COVID antibodies from past infection or vaccination, new study says. From triple axels to XXX, Russian striptease skating star Elizaveta Tuktamasheva makes magazine cover. WTF is he wearing? Man City boss Pep Guardiola trolled for ugly fashion faux pas in Champions League clash. India and Pakistan agreed to stop firing across disputed Kashmir border and move towards sustainable peace. Legal immunity and state assets as collateral, Latin American govts held to ransom by Pfizer during vaccine talks, report says. A bad workman blames his tools, Armenian PM claims about Russian Iskander missiles attempt at deflection, based on misinformation. China denies it made U.S. diplomats take anal swab tests for COVID-19 despite Washington saying Beijing admitted testing error. Russia is existential threat to West that NATO must neutralize in order to prevent power war, insists bloc supreme commander. He was not drunk, police rule out alcohol in Tiger Woods horror crash as top turns to star's golfing future. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Qatar's Al Jazeera launches right-wing news platform for Americans who feel left out of MSM. Tesla temporarily suspends production at Model 3 plant in Fremont. Deja vu all over again, GameStop soars over 300% as Gamma Squeeze returns. Twitter says it purged dozens of accounts for undermining faith in NATO. Swiss to vote in referendum on government's emergency COVID-19 measures. Ida revises forecast, warns summer air travel will remain weak. UK health authorities announce not a single case of flu detected this year. How societies are imprisoned, the whole world will one day be like Hollywood. U.S. Army building world's most powerful laser to vaporize drones. Makes absolutely no sense, Biden cancels Trump's Operation Talon program targeting immigrant sex offenders. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Hunger striking Ethiopia, politicians deteriorating in jail. India's health workers balk at taking homegrown COVID vaccine. Indonesia searches for missing after deadly gold mine collapse. Muslim victims of 2020 Delhi violence losing hopes of justice. Israel asked U.S. not to lift Trump-era ICC sanctions, report. At least 14 killed at religious site in car, amnesty. China's Xi declares complete victory against rural poverty. British law professor under fire over Islamophobic statements. In Greece, a wildfire of Me Too allegations singes the cabinet. Armenia PM warns of coup attempt after army seeks his resignation. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Dem Rep Canna, WH has every power to disregard parliamentarian on minimum wage increase. Jaipal, Senate Dems should overrule parliamentarian if needed to raise minimum wage. Biden administration continues holding migrant children in Border Patrol custody. Xavier Becerra refused to name even one abortion restriction he could support. NBC polls nurses episode after massive backlash over Jew face, anti-Semitic scene. Arkansas AG wants law to protect women from competing in sports against biological males. Indonesia, hospital staff charged with blasphemy for cleaning dead coronavirus patient. Texas towns cope with migrant wave not tested for coronavirus. NI director, masks still important post-vaccination, even if we're overdoing it, that's fine. Analysis, Republicans becoming the party of blue-collar Americans. The next headlines are from UPI News. Woman wins lottery jackpot 10 years after her husband won sweepstakes. Watch, New Jersey man's doorbell camera records visit from albino deer. Virginia man swims 5.35 miles wearing handcuffs for Guinness record. Look, Iceland gull makes extremely rare visit to Florida. Watch, world's largest snow maze nearly doubles in size. Look, 78 pounds of wool sheared from sheep found living in the wild. Watch, lost dog reunited with Texas family after 3 years. Watch, Czech diver breaks Guinness record for swimming under ice. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. Terrifying National Park Stories Part 1. 10 Most Bizarre Golden Globe Nominations. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. NASA technology to map the stars could now help save world's largest fish. Help out your favorite historic restaurant, nominated for an MX Pandemic grant. See incredible photos and hear Martian winds from the Red Planet, thanks to Perseverance rover. Pollution in the Mississippi River has plummeted since the 1980s, new study says. The simple habit of flossing reduces your risk of COVID-19 complications, says new study. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, February 25th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. 2 dead after undercover cops shoot at each other in Philippines drug bust. Lockdown has made London a boomtown for rats. Lawmakers worry that sales tax exemption means women will buy too many tampons. 4 suspects in Earl, Arkansas shooting share same name. American Airlines confirms encounter with unidentified cylindrical object over New Mexico. Virginia prison staffer says she was fired on suspicion of smuggling after body scan detected tampon. Cyberpunk 2077 version 1.2 delayed due to recent cyber attack. Barak, a sheep rescued in Australia with over 75 pounds of wool, is getting more confident every day. Man accused of stealing $3,000 in Magic, the Gathering cards, faces 2 felonies. Miami lawyer whose pants caught fire during arson trial arrested on cocaine charge. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. What you need to know about 15 minute cities, the future of sustainable urban life. Edinburgh plans to make its public transit net zero by 2030, here's how. 5 reasons to include Clubhouse in your brand strategy, before the hype dies. NASA's test found 3 exoplanets orbiting a young sun-like star. How to share text and links across your devices via your browser. Avatar, The Last Airbender fans are getting new animated movies and series. Fantasy General II Evolution The LC Review, Eat the Rich, Devour the Defeated. Is there a more environmentally friendly way to train AI? Learn to market to Pinterest's 400+ million monthly active users with the help of these courses. Playing HTML5 games on Chrome for Android is gonna get a lot easier. The following headlines are from Science Daily. People with SARS-CoV-2 antibodies may have low risk of future infection, study finds. How single-celled algae rotate as they swim towards the light. New experiences enhance learning by resetting key brain circuit. Using a multi-pronged approach to investigate the diet of ancient dogs. Evidence of dynamic seasonal activity on a Martian sand dune. Scientists begin building highly accurate digital twin of our planet. Human lung and brain organoids respond differently to SARS-CoV-2 infection in lab tests. Reactivating aging stem cells in the brain. From melody to language. New fossil discovery illuminates cell hives of the earliest primates. The next headlines are from Information Week. Why 2021 may turn out to be a great year for tech startups. Reimagining Formula One manufacturing to build a respiratory device. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, February 25th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA to honor hidden figure Mary W. Jackson during headquarters naming ceremony. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Showtime showdown? Nope. Utah Jazz take care of business, blowout shorthanded, overmatched Lakers. The triple team. Last year on this date, the Jazz were falling apart. This year, they blew out the Lakers. Former Utah Jazz player Elijah Millsap says team VP Dennis Lindsey made bigoted comments, which Lindsey categorically denies. Episode 16, in the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion finale, Utah coach Sharif Shah is a calming influence. Photos, Salt Lake City teachers rally against lawmakers for pressuring the district to reopen in person. Utah Senate committee tables bill barring transgender girls from female K-12 sports. Utah's COVID-19 case counts continue to improve, but deaths continue to rise. Sounding a bit like Reagan, Mike Lee tells leaders to tear down that wall around the U.S. Capitol. Biathlon World Cup to return to Utah in 2024. Human-created fire contained at Zion National Park. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. CD Projekt ransomware hack severely disrupts work on Cyberpunk updates. LG says it will license WebOS to other TV makers. Biden signs executive order to address chip shortage through a review to strengthen supply chains. Verizon leads 5G airwave bidding with record $45 billion splurge. Why Discord is switching from Go to Rust. Google sponsors 2 full-time devs to improve Linux security. The Fed system that allows banks to send money back and forth is down. Apache Software Foundation ousts Tinker Pop creator. Amazon Prime Video Direct and the dystopian decision to stop accepting documentaries. Starlink will hit 300 megabits per second and expand to most of Earth this year. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Court hearing today for accused St. Charles killer Richard Emery. One man killed at Wildwood home following altercation. Man who witnessed dead inmate in Justice Center says he's been silenced by the jail. Ameren, Missouri projects underway to make sure power grid is reliable. St. Louis Board of Elections expands absentee voting hours ahead of municipal primary. Pediatrician says parents report a worsening of ADHD symptoms in their children amid the pandemic. New Missouri scholarship program could allow tuition at private schools to be paid. Missouri House passes voter photo ID. 17-year-old boy risks his life to save dog, neighbors come to the rescue. Parson hints at vaccine requirement changes, directly affecting Missouri teachers. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Stadium stories. Lorenzo Neal recalls when Qualcomm Stadium became place of pain. Pedestrian dies after being hit by vehicle downtown. Brooks Street pool to remain open after Oceanside Council vote. Local RV businesses have banner year in spite of pandemic. Encinitas Council okays plan to link homeless residents to housing, healthcare. Faulconer stops in Sacramento to criticize state's progress in reopening schools. California tops 50,000 coronavirus deaths. UCSF researchers say California's virus variant is cause for concern. Texas man to stand trial in 1983 Lawmesa cold case killing. Man in motorized wheelchair dies after being hit by SUV. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. Central Intelligence Agency nominee Burns promises spying focus on China, seeing adversarial, predatory regime. Stolen lawn equipment came with GPS tracker unit. Germany convicts Syrian spy for arresting protesters tortured by Assad's regime. Russian hackers attacked Ukraine's document management system, NSDC. Spy for Egypt goes on trial. Russia has allegedly hit the U.S. with an unprecedented malware attack. Here's what you need to know. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Russia receives requests for Su-57E fighters from foreign customers. Russian army orders more Chinese SUFs. Ukrainian army expected to receive new Kozak-2 M1 combat vehicles later this year. Turkish hunter-killer unmanned aircraft passes 300,000 flight hours milestone. Boeing begins production of newest T-7A aircraft. Arquus launches its futuristic armored vehicle at IDEX 2021. Saudi Arabia awards contract to Science Technology for Eagle unmanned aircraft. Russian Iskander missile system was completely useless, says Armenian Prime Minister. U.S. State Department approves possible sale of guided artillery rockets to Finland. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. China might soon have 4 approved COVID-19 vaccines. China's digital currency goes global as domestic trials expand. Beijing man ordered to pay ex-wife $7,700 for 5 years of housework. The Marburg Affair and British imperialism on the China-Myanmar border. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, February 25, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Investigation underway after suspect dies in Antioch police custody. Reopening schools, San Francisco School Board, Teachers Union reach agreement. Popular San Francisco drag club on brink of closure. San Francisco city leaders tackle rise in hate crimes against Asian Americans. Watch, smash and grab at SF's Golden Gate Park takes unusual turn. Room Redux, nonprofit transforms room of child abuse victims. Kevin Faulconer takes aim at Governor Newsom, pushes to reopen schools. San Jose teachers have trouble getting COVID vaccine. Black History Special, Equestrian inspires East Bay youth through horseback riding. Berkeley Police Association says new reforms are danger to community. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Chu signs $2.4 million deal to play for South Korean club. Official injured after buzzer of Rutgers-Michigan State game. Marvel's Wanda has a future, but WandaVision fate unclear. New budget options to prevent Elgin fire service cuts don't sway enough councilmen. Des Plaines Council candidates divided on support for COVID-related restaurant rules. Butler leads Heat to fourth straight win, 116-108 over Raptors. Employee shot, injured during armed robbery of Marengo gas station. Woodstock native Catalina Lauf to challenge U.S. Rep. Kinzinger in GOP primary. O'Donnell, it's time for George S. Halas Stadium at Arlington Park. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. New City Council bill would temporarily loosen restrictions on home-based businesses in Seattle. Washington wildlife officials leave bird feeders down until April to stop deadly disease. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Kazakhstan, Russia. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC, Namibia. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Syria, Turkey. Volcanic eruption is ongoing for Etna in Italy. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.6 m, depth 10 km, in Iceland February 24, 2021, 10:05 UTC, 260,000 people within 100 kilometers. Green flood alert in Indonesia. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, February 25th in the Greenwich Mean Time time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. Why the intelligence community needs a climate change task force. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Front stalls out near Houston Thursday. Father and 3 kids escape house fire in Clear Lake shores. 13 investigates consumers' pain after years of power grid neglect. Texas meteorologists explain how the 2021 winter storm happened. As circuit hearings begin, Texans and leaders call for change. The winter storm may have passed, but need for food and water remains in high demand. Texas plants released nearly as much pollution during winter storm as during Hurricane Laura. Blackouts bring up a 4-letter word in Texas. Parents of HISD students concerned about teacherless days. Fry's Electronics permanently closing all stores due to COVID-19 pandemic. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. German charged for passing parliament floor plans to Russia. EU court urged to rule against Hungary's asylum policy. EU leaders seek to inject energy into slow vaccine rollout. Armenian PM faces military's demand to resign, talks of coup. China denies subjecting U.S. diplomats to COVID-19 anal tests. Mayor discusses housing, social justice with Johnny Chiang at KMT Forum. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra, this is your brain on pandemic. It's for my health, Brooklynites line up to get vaccinated at Medgar Evers College. Advocates fear nursing home reform bills won't fundamentally change life for residents. I came to work nauseous, ex-Cuomo aide says governor sexually harassed and forcibly kissed her. Ron Kim, a self-described nobody from Flushing, seizes the progressive spotlight. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. New York City's middle schoolers poised to return to classrooms as more educators get vaccinated for COVID-19. Data shows truck traffic roaring back in NYC, but fewer cars and buses. Ranked choice voting gets its first real test in Queens. After an appeals court reversed his conviction, Reuben Wills eyes a comeback in Queens. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. Next, info on a few earthquakes today from earthquaketoday.com. Light earthquake 4.2 mag, 2 kilometers north by northwest of Adelaide, Philippines. Light earthquake 4.5 mag has occurred near Chagos Archipelago region. Light earthquake 4.3 mag, south of the Fiji Islands. Light earthquake M4.5 quake has struck near Padang in Indonesia. Light earthquake 4.2 mag strikes near Alata in Solomon Islands. Light earthquake 4.2 mag was detected near Ashkisham in Afghanistan. Moderate earthquake 5.3 mag was detected near Southeast Indian Ridge. Minor earthquake 2.8 mag was detected near Tres Pinos in CA. Minor earthquake 3.59 mag has occurred near Punta Cana in Dominican Republic. Minor earthquake N3.89 quake has struck near La Romana in Dominican Republic. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Drug use is a health issue, we need to decriminalize. Western Sahara, Africa's last colony, to resume liberation struggle on hold since 1991. The global insecurity of climate change. Mexico to ban glyphosate, GM corn presidential decree comes despite intense pressure from industry, U.S. authorities. Is the USA fit to rejoin the UN Human Rights Council? Cuba prioritizes sustainable water management in the face of climate challenges. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Arizona's $24 million prison management software is keeping people locked up past the end of their sentences. Saudi Arabia sued by families of Pensacola terror attack victims. Biden commits to forever war on Afghanistan. Censorship gone bonkers, be a good citizen. The U.S. Air Force just admitted the F-35 stealth fighter has failed. Following lawsuit, CDC removes claim vaccines do not cause autism from its website. Google's Eric Schmidt and the artificial intelligence military-industrial complex. Biden's HHS pick Rachel Levine advocates sex changes for children. African governments are crushing opposition using Israeli spyware. We've temporarily limited some of your account features. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Biden revokes Trump orders on anarchist cities and more. Chief, Capitol Police were warned of violence before riot. GOP rally solidly against Democrat virus relief package. Is this a real photo of Earth, Venus, and Jupiter seen from Mars? Golf without woods, battered leg brings it closer to reality. Did Coca-Cola ad try to be less white toucans? LA sheriff calls Tiger Woods crash purely an accident. Is this an authentic photo of a baby shark with a human face? Former aide says Cuomo kissed her, suggested strip poker. Amid surge, U.S. tries to expedite release of migrant children. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Tax-dodging tech nomads are Puerto Rico's migrant crisis. We've gone overboard disinfecting surfaces during COVID. France has finally launched efforts to disband a violent hate group. Experts say it's too late. The LGBTQ Equality Act is back. Its sponsors are optimistic for Senate victory. I'm so old I remember when CPAC had a few scruples. Oklahoma GOP is about to make an open bigot its chairman. Andra Day abused herself to become Billie Holiday. Why she felt it was worth it. This spring break, 65 is the new 20. Want Trump's endorsement? Get ready to push the big lie. Trevor Noah exposes America's COVID vaccine racism. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Pizza-slinging con man of Lombardi's fame opens NYC slice joint. Rugrats revival to include original voice actors. Former Virginia Corrections employee claims she was fired for wearing tampon. Noah Syndergaard's rehab progress wows Luis Rojas. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy tests positive for COVID-19. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Space Force sounds like a joke, and that could be a problem for an important military branch. Hidden in plain sight, scouring the notebooks of the Harvard human computers. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine deemed safe and effective by the FDA. California's redwoods fight to survive after being scorched by wildfires. CVS booking vaccination slots for 570,000 in 17 states. California's iconic redwoods threatened by climate change. Mars rover beams back spectacular panorama. Johnson & Johnson vaccine deemed safe and effective, paving way for approval. CBS News Special, Men on the Moon. Johnson & Johnson single-dose vaccine is effective, FDA says. How Rhode Island kept school doors open before CDC deemed it safe. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Australia officially passes law to make Facebook, Google pay for news. Dozens of Libyan migrants drown in Mediterranean Sea en route to Europe. CIT, 82-year-old woman drives into upstate bakery, is unhurt. Iran committed human rights violations in shooting down Ukrainian plane, UN says. President Jimmy Carter and wife Rosalind are fully vaccinated, back at church. NYC no longer an anarchist city after Biden scraps controversial Trump order. Healthcare groups, lobbyists padded Cuomo campaign coffers amid COVID crisis, immunity push. Israeli government to share names of unvaccinated people. Tiger Woods' recovery could take a year, but he won't face criminal charges for crash on SoCal road that's like an NASCAR race. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle donate new roof to women's shelter damaged by Texas storm. The following headlines are from military.com. 39-year-old Navy chief is fourth sailor in 20 days to die of COVID-19. Paratroopers in Alaska are wearing wrist sensors to track their stress levels. I am not a one-in-a-million story. Marine speaks out after viral TikTok video about sexual misconduct. Congressional pressure adds urgency to Agent Orange claims, VA secretary says. UN says Afghan civilian casualties down by 15% last year. Army nixes new leadership role for fired Fort Hood commander. Navy officer who lived with prostitutes in Bahrain has sentence partly overturned by appeals court. Why it's going to be much harder to make expert under the Marines' new rifle qual standard. The U.S. military may dodge significant budget cuts, to the ire of progressives. The Air Force may soon be shopping for a new fighter jet. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Column, it's time to rethink Black History Month. Activists disappointed and not surprised after $181.70 of Cook County's coronavirus relief funding spent on reimbursing sheriff's office payroll. Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch wants a graduated income tax do-over, this time tied to pension funding. A transgender flag and a personal attack, Illinois U.S. Rep. Marie Newman and Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene feud over LGBTQ rights. Former Democratic lawmaker, two sons hit with tax charges in ComEd lobbying probe. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, Pritzker expects 100,000 daily vaccine doses by next month as 2022 new COVID-19 cases and 44 more deaths reported Wednesday. CPS looks to require COVID-19 vaccines for employees without medical or religious waivers, but teachers' union wants input on shot policy. Political operative connected to ex-Alv, Solis charged in CPS contract fraud. Chicago Lakefront, Catholic Church's top newest list of city's most endangered historic buildings. The Spin, Madigan's successor resigns after 3 days, still eligible for month's pay. Lightfoot caught cussing on hot mic during city council meeting. Pro-Trump Republican launches bid to unseat Kinzinger. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Study finds human-caused North Atlantic right whale deaths are being undercounted. A 4.4 million-year-old skeleton could reveal how early humans began to walk upright. Scientists achieve breakthrough in culturing corals in sea anemone's cells. On the line, watching nanoparticles get in shape. Amazing pheasants have 2 ways of navigating. Nanobodies could help CRISPR turn genes on and off. Bats, birds among wildlife pummeled during southern freeze. Parker Solar Probe offers stunning view of Venus. After Hurricane Irma, Soundscape reveals resilient reef ecosystem. Food systems lessons from COVID-19, from understanding fragilities to building resilience. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, February 25th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Harvard human computers revolutionized astronomy. Their work is hidden in old notebooks. Old wives' tales to predict weather, what's based in science and what's just folklore? Are cesarean sections named after Julius Caesar? Lava fountains abound as Etna starts 2021 in spectacular fashion. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. 6N, France suspends training after player contracts virus. Global stocks follow Wall Street higher after Fed pledge. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Horoscopes February 25th, 2021, Jamila Jamil, your energy is in high gear. Word Game, February 25th, 2021. Bridge, February 25th, 2021. Ask Amy, my surgeon's behavior annoys me but I'm afraid of making her mad. Harriet Cole, I want to explain some things to my ex, but my friends say it's a bad idea. Miss Manners, can I walk out and let my husband deal with this bullying woman? Dear Abby, I loved her so much, now she's living as a boy. Contra Costa charges murder, shooting, robbery suspect. PUBG, new state, a new battle royal experience built from the ground up for mobile. Takeaways from the Warriors' win over the Pacers. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Heating element eyed in deadly fire at Ohio turtle exhibit. Director at Louisville Zoo to retire later this year. The next headlines are from The Intercept. More than 2 years after viral chokehold video, NYPD officer has faced no discipline. Police want Larry Krasner gone, so they're backing his opponent. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, February 25th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Study shows opioid use among U.S. patients with knee osteoarthritis costs $14 billion in societal costs. A Canadian success story, world first to treat Fabry disease with gene therapy. Allergy season starts earlier each year due to climate change and pollen transport. Chimpanzees and humans share overlapping territories. DV survivor elder abuse risk. World's first video of a space-time crystal. Cancer research to gain from identification of 300 proteins that regulate cell division. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. 2 shot at gas station in Wentworth Gardens. Ice fishing, into the heart of why ice anglers do it as they explain their love of ocean. 2 CPD officers injured in crash on the near north side. 8 shot, 1 fatally, Wednesday in Chicago. 3 hurt, 3 displaced in Englewood house fire. 3 wounded, 1 fatally in shooting in Washington Park. Horoscope for Thursday, February 25, 2021. Missing woman, 24, known to frequent the Loop, police. Creighton barrels Pastor Paul 77-53 in Big East mismatch. Bulls grab number 6 seed with overtime win, and yes, coaching matters. The feed from the Riverfront Times St. Louis has been removed for putting advertisements in its news RSS feed. Alex Garcia joins family after 3.5 years living in sanctuary in Maplewood Church. Shovel smashed into Moa's cat storefront in Maplewood. St. Louis next mayor is ready for your approval. Herpagreens reviews. Does Herpagreen Super Antioxidants Blend really work? Safe ingredients? Herpasil reviews. Is the Herpasil supplement worth it? User reviews. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. Virtual discussion will go beyond the headlines of Flint water crisis. Alt.com review. Does it really work? My honest experience. Former Detroit Red Wing Darren McCarty will be a celebrity bartender at the Greenhouse of Walled Lake. Best kratom for anxiety, depression and sleep reviews. Virtual art conference reinventations to feature artists and culture leaders from Detroit and across the globe. Best kratom for pain, strains, dosage and reviews. Madam Restaurant eyes April opening in Birmingham's forthcoming Daxton Hotel. Best kratom for sale, where to buy kratom online. Detroit Land Bank subcontractor faces felony charges over asbestos work. Savage Grow Plus reviews. Should you buy Savage Grow Plus? Ingredients and side effects. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, February 25, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. FEMA vaccine jabs begin with long lines as city appointments fill in a blink. Don't buy that generator just yet. Upcoming Houston food events. Taste your way through Katie's best restaurants. Houston Texans, GM Nick Caserio roster purge begins. Best virtual bets, Aztec Tales, French films, and Sin Muros. Celebrate your existential anxiety with the return of The Muppet Show. 8 items homeowners should have around for Houston disasters. Houston Astros Vegas forecast for wins lowest since 2016. Time for the Rocket rebuild to begin. Houston Concert Watch 2/24, Junior Brown, Post Malone and more. The next headlines are about world records making news. Man swims 8.6 kilometers wearing handcuffs for Guinness World Record, times now. It's such exciting news. 11-year-old world record holder has 2032 Brisbane Olympics in her sights, Sydney Morning Herald. Farming enthusiast grows heaviest turnip weighing 29 kilos, breaks world record, India Times. YouTuber Rickrolling Guinness World Records while applying for Rickroll record is pure evil, News 18. Guptill sets world record in ANZ's win, Yahoo Sport Australia. Podcast, Grant Holloway world record number 1, Ben True talks 10,000 MPRs, super spikes, trying to make Olympic team, Let'sRun.com. Inside the gently competitive world of giant vegetable growing, Atlas Obscura. Free diver breaks world record for longest swim under ice, WBTV. Brisbane sprinter Julie Brim smashes ageist stereotypes with sprinting records, ABC News. U.S. stock futures are mixed following Dow's record close, CNBC. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Facebook finally bans Myanmar military after February 1 coup. GameStop's doing a thing again. We finally know how much Paramount Plus is gonna cost. Nashville bombing suspect was anti-government extremist, believed in lizard people, report. AMD's launching a new graphics card next week. What a fossilized hand says about the last common ancestor between humans and chimpanzees. Superman and Lois and Man of Steel are surprisingly alike, and that's great so far. Computer simulations suggest Martian moons were separated at birth more than 1 billion years ago. Save big on laptops, desktops, and monitors in today's best Dell and Alienware deals. Facebook told us to suck it, for a change. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Kaolack in Senegal at 106.16 degrees Fahrenheit or 41.2 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 70.96 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 57.2 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Loki and Star Wars, The Bad Batch get Disney Plus premiere dates. FedGlitch shuts down wire transfers, direct deposits, other services. Biden admin plans executive order to address chip shortage woes. Cox's bad customer service stymies users who don't want upload speed cut. Firefox 86 brings multiple picture-in-picture, total cookie protection. Lone high-energy neutrino likely came from shredded star in distant galaxy. Ukraine says Russia hacked its document portal and planted malicious files. BioWare cancel Anthem sweeping overhaul. LG enters fray with Google, Amazon, Roku for TV operating system dominance. Johnson & Johnson's vaccine safe and effective, FDA review concludes. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Ted Cruz appears to have tapped into campaign funds for security costs, including for personal travel. A black Chicago politician was shot to death in 1963. It's no accident authorities never solved the crime. We cannot act like this isn't happening. GOP caucus slammed for bigoted Marjorie Taylor Greene's speech. Mike Pence says he's still friends with Donald Trump despite angry mob that tried to kill him. John Dean says that Donald Trump's children should be worried about Manhattan case. DWI charges against Bruce Springsteen dropped by prosecutors. Maddow shows video of possible Capitol insurrectionist who stole Pelosi laptop giving Nazi salute. Maddow outs Mnuchin for starting investment fund for Persian Gulf states after kissing up to MBS. Fox News Tucker Carlson blasted as a bigot for denying white supremacists were involved in Capitol attack. Legal expert warns the Supreme Court has left a ticking time bomb under American democracy. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Climate crisis may threaten all that depends on the Colorado River. Catch the first sounds ever recorded on the surface of Mars. Stable one-shot COVID vaccine deemed safe and effective. Republicans are taking their voter suppression efforts to new extremes. It's not just Texas, the energy meltdown can happen to your state, too. The almost unbelievable tortures of Stephen Tendo. Biden cannot make Trump's immigration cruelty vanish overnight. 4 states propose harsh new penalties for climate protesters. Power companies get exactly what they want, how Texas repeatedly failed to protect its power grid against extreme weather. It's official, a former dairy exec now runs Biden's agriculture department. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Natural connections, curiosity, perseverance, and life-free, Ashland Daily Press. Lesson of the day, NASA's Perseverance rover lands on Mars to renew search for extinct life, The New York Times. Vox Populi, searching for life on Mars, humans rely on their perseverance, The Asahi Shimbun. Extraterrestrial Engineering, MIT Technology Review. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. New experiences enhance learning by resetting key brain circuit. How novelty triggers neural mechanisms that facilitate flexible strategy encoding. Science Daily. Nystagmus from living in the dark cured with light exposure. Medscape. Uncovering the molecular mechanism behind synapse loss in Alzheimer's disease. Medical Express. Functional antagonism of chromatin modulators regulates epithelial mesenchymal transition. Science Advances. A gearbox for tumor cell identity changes. Uric Alert. Uncovers the molecular mechanism behind synapse loss in Alzheimer's disease. Uric Alert. A multi-scale brain map derived from whole brain volumetric reconstructions. Nature.com. Reset of hippocampal prefrontal circuitry facilitates learning. Nature.com. Optical stimulation connects electrical and biological neurons. Laser Focus World. Can zapping our brains really cure depression? The New York Times. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, February 25th, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Cylindrical-shaped UFO zooms past commercial airliner, as reported by pilot. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, February 25th, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. True Strange News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by True Strange News. All rights reserved.